I'm Britta Wheeler, and I'm the founding director of the Children's Institute of Fashion Arts, theCIFA.org. Welcome to our video series. Here's your video on hand sewing for complete beginners. The Midtown West Theater Study tutorial videos. This is a series of short tutorials for families to accompany the live online workshops in hand sewing. Please watch this beforehand to introduce yourselves to the process. We will work with the kids to complete the project during the workshops. Please don't start before we meet. Parents, you will need to assist, but please do not do the work for your child. The children will need help threading the needles and possibly a bit more. Number 1. Setup and preparations. What we will sew. We will sew seams on the plaid Scottish townspeople garments, the tam hat, vest, and pants, and on the gauze Aladdin's Friends garments, the dress, tunic, and pants. The different pattern pieces are held together with pins. Keep the pins in the fabric until you have started sewing the pieces together. Number 2, working with a needle. Test the needle to see if it goes easily into the fabric. Use a medium-sized needle, best for smaller hands. I am using white thread so you can see it. Please use thread that matches the fabric as closely as possible for your work. 3. How to thread a needle. Trim the thread end that comes from the spool. Use this end for threading the needle so you will have less knots as you go. You can get it moist so it has a bit more structure to it. Put the thread into the eye of the needle and pull it through. Pull a length of approximately 18 to 24 inches. You will be tempted to make it longer, but don't because it will be hard to work with. When threading the needle, pull the cut end through the needle and leave it hanging about halfway down the other end of the thread. You will sew a single thread into the garment and let this end loose as you need more thread. Once you have your needle threaded with one long end and one short end in place, you are ready to start. Seams are stitched on the seam line that is 1/2 inch away from the raw edge. The seam line is marked with a dotted line. Number 4, getting started. Pinch the eye of your threaded needle between your finger and your thumb. Keep it pinched each time you take a stitch. Pinch it again after you have taken the stitch. We will secure the thread with the triple back stitch at the beginning and end of the seams. If you don't, the thread might come out. Number 6, sewing the seam. Begin with a running stitch going up and down. Pull the thread just enough to pull it all smoothly into the fabric. Don't pull it too tightly or it will bunch up. We will use a running stitch to sew the seam. A running stitch is the same as an up and down stitch. You go down into the fabric and then back up through the bottom of the fabric. Repeat the up and down stitch until you have finished the seam. Follow along the marked dotted line. Try to make the stitches the same size as the width of your pinky fingernail. If you want a little bit more of a challenge, you can include a back stitch every so often in your running stitch. To include a back stitch in your running stitch, the rhythm would go like this. Forward, down and up, forward, down and up, backward, down and up, forward, down and up, forward, down and up, backward, down and up. A backstitch will make it stronger and more secure. Keep going. Breathe. Follow along the marked dotted line. Number 7, completing the seam. When you have completed the seam, secure the end with a triple backstitch. Cut the remaining thread. Work on each seam of your piece to finish it, and keep going till you're done. We will be giving you instructions for completion dates and the process as we go forward. Thanks so much. I hope you enjoy this process, and we'll see you in the live online workshops. Come visit us at theCIFA.org.